Anderson. He's just an amazing gentleman he's the father of podcast. He's a best-selling author. He's considered the business bully. He is just somebody I have a lot of mad respect for. He's a motivational speaker. He is definitely going to pour into us tonight and just give us some business ideas and some sense and direction of where your business should go. So if you're in business, guys, you want to be here and you want to share this information with somebody in business. So, Dave,
yes,
welcome. I know you're about to log in, but
I'm about to log in. What up, people? How you doing?
I can't with you.
I said that first too.
Dave, so what's up with you? You in Philly?
I am in Philly.
Okay.
In Philly. I paid the house off, so we ain't going nowhere.
I know that's right.
Tell you something.
You paid the house off.
The house is paid off.
You're in Philly, and what's next? What are you doing in Philly? I know you're doing motivational speaking.
I speak, about 40 times out of the year. Aside from that, I'm running my business, the Business Bully LLC. I help authors, coaches, speakers, entrepreneurs double their revenue without wasting a bunch of money on advertising. Because most of y'all out here boosting posts. Stop that shit.
Say it one more time. And what is a boost? What's a boost for people who don't know?
A boost is a way that Mark Zuckerberg uses your money to wipe his ass with. In other words, you have a post, and the post is starting to do well, and it's starting to get some natural engagement, and then this little thing will come along and say, hey, if you boost this post, you can spend about $20 to $30, we can get you in front of up to 28,000 people. See, up to, right now, up to, there's 3 people in there. There's 3 people in here, but I can get you up to 5 million. Like that, you're just pulling numbers out of your ass, Zucks.
Yeah.
But people don't understand that there is a process to Facebook advertising, and it's not going to get solved by boosting
your post. So, and I see this a lot too. I really do. So, guys, if you boosting your post, you definitely don't want to do that. What exactly does that mean to boost a post? What is
basically what they're promising is that you get more exposure, and I'm not really believing that because it just doesn't work. I put up a poll the other day, and I was like, what's the one thing you've been doing that's been wasting money? And they're like, oh, I've boosted posts, and I'm like, why y'all do that?
Wow.
That's not smart.
So what would you recommend instead of boosting posts on Facebook?
Get a business page for the sole purpose of
going live from that business page.
Yeah.
I agree. So guys, go ahead, real quick. Guys, if you're just tuning in with us, we have here an amazing business bully. He is truly the business bully.
Yes.
Dave Anderson. He basically tells you what's going wrong with your business. We all need somebody to tell us what's going wrong, what's going right. And I can truly say I have seen your work, and I am proud of what you do.
Lord,
I really am.
I was trying so hard.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
We start businesses because we have a good idea.
Right.
And we never take a business course.
Nope.
We don't understand branding, marketing, advertising. Can you talk about that? What is the number one reason people come to you?
Most people come to me because they're trying to figure out what to do with their business, or they've gotten they got battered girlfriends. Well, Mr. Anderson, I've been hurt so many times before by coaches, and I just don't know what to do, and and so it comes down to we don't know because we're not taught. Yeah. The Koreans are taught, the Ethiopians are taught,
and they pass it down.
Oh yeah, and if they go to college, okay, like Wang is going to go, and when I say Wang, I actually know somebody who has a son named Wang. He's going to go, and he's going to be a lawyer, and Chin is actually, she's going to go, she's going to be the accountant. So now that the family, aka the company, now has a lawyer and an accountant, so they ain't got to outsource nothing.
Look at that.
So you're sending your kid to college just so that you can tell your sewing circle that your kid went to college, but you ain't going to college with no plan. And so when people come to me and they have these business ideas, they just think that they're going to hit a switch, and that's going to be that. They've seen 3 seasons of Shark Tank and 3 episodes of The Profit, and now all of a sudden, boom, they're in business, or worse yet, boom, they think they're a business coach, and I'm like, that's not how it goes.
I just had that happen to a couple of my friends this year who started businesses, didn't have a business plan, had no direction, and they just had a good idea, or they were good with making something with their hands. People don't realize until they get into business that it's real business.
Yeah.
It's more than just having a talent to cook. It's more than just having the skills to start a business. You have to have the skills to know business.
The thing of it is, even if you don't have the skills,
hire somebody.
Listen, my daddy told me once, I'll never get arrested. So my daddy said, you know, Dave, if you want to do something right, I'm like, do it yourself. He said, no, idiot, pay someone to do it.
Yeah.
Just make sure they know what they're doing.
That's it.
You know, a lot of times we have this thing, and I don't know who told y'all that y'all was going to get an award for doing all this shit. Like,
That's true.
I'm
Building
marketing.
my website.
I'm building a website. Don't know HTML
Yeah.
from a hole in their ass. I'm going to be setting up booths. I'm going to be doing trade shows. Oh,
Yeah.
every time I go to a speaking engagement, now there's some speaking engagements that I get paid a crap ton of money for, and then there's some I do out of the goodness of my heart because I know that people need that crowd or they need some guidance, some suggestions, and I do this for my people because my people don't have or have not had the access that I've had in certain cases, and I see all of them. And I went to a speaking engagement in the Germantown section of Philadelphia. It was a wonderful event, and what wound up happening was I got on stage, and you know, if you know me, and you do, you know that I am going to start asking questions. And I said, I will give any person in here who can give me 12 months of projection for their businesses. I'll give them a week in my partner resort in Thailand.
Wow.
And I sat back and I waited. Guess how many people had
Business plan.
not even a business plan. I'm just looking for projections.
Not one person.
Not a one. But they got mad at me. I'm like, but y'all call yourselves business owners. You're not business owners. You call yourself a CEO. You don't have a board of directors. You don't have a business license. You're not registered with the state.
And so, okay, I like that you said that because people, what's the difference between a CEO and a founder? Because
Okay.
I keep seeing this. People are coming out with products or a business name and they say, I'm the CEO. And I don't think people clearly know what that means.
A CEO is the chief executive officer, the person that runs the business, but still has checks and balances. That person is supposed to answer to a board of directors. A founder is someone who starts the company. Not necessarily. The founder isn't always the CEO. And if you don't have a board, you cannot be the chief executive officer because there's no other executive officers to make up the board. So how you going to be? You cannot be the chief executive officer of a company when you're the only person in the company.
Of yourself.
You can't be the CEO
Right,
of you.
and you fucking insta coaches. Excuse me, I'm sorry. You fucking insta coaches with this. Oh, be the CEO of YOU. Sit your ass down.
What's why of you?
YOU.
Be the CEO. Wow.
Be the
That's
CEO
okay.
of YOU. Sit your dumb ass down.
And this
somewhere.
is why this is important because your brand, people are branding themselves in business with the wrong titles.
And getting laughed at.
Yeah, it's true.
Not just by me. Shout out to my audience. If y'all ain't here, share the video. Make sure y'all good. Comments, questions, all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
But we have we're big on looking the part,
We are.
but we're not big on doing the work.
That's good.
Everybody wants to be hot fire. Everybody wants to be hot shit. But don't nobody want no smoke.
It's true. We don't want to do we don't want to take the class.
No,
we don't
do
want
that.
to know what's the difference between financing as well as interest, dividends.
No.
We don't want to take the time to really to learn.
No, for
so
what?
What's the most important things a business needs to thrive?
Aside from money, I would say the most important thing a business would need to thrive is consistency and differentiation. Now, here's what I mean. Before I became Dave Anderson, captain of industry, master of all I survey, I showed up. Excuse me, every single day. This ginger ale making me burp, but it's delicious and I needed it.
I love it.
I showed up every day. And I wrote books. Like, I didn't go to bed last night and wake up with 15 number one bestsellers. I had to write 15 books.
That's good.
I didn't just show up with 236,000 downloads a week on my podcast. I had to start with one podcast, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one. And that over time compounds things. The problem with black businesses, and people gonna get mad at me about this, but I don't give a rat's ass because, well, I got nothing to lose to lie to you. Black people, generally speaking, have this thing where they want to look like they know what they're doing instead of saying, I need help. Yep. I need to get it done. And so,
you want to look important.
Yeah, anybody got time to look important? I'm trying to get these checks.
I say that again.
But
I love what you said. You started with one podcast. By the way, you're the father of podcasts. Tell everybody, what does that mean?
Okay, so what that means is in 1997, before there was an iTunes, before Steve Jobs came back to the company that he was unceremoniously booted from, I got hired by a company in Baltimore called the Black World Today, and they were doing this thing called on-demand audio. Nobody knew what it was. They bought servers.
Okay.
You know, and this is in the late 90s. So
Wow.
servers at this point, why is this frozen? What's up with that? I don't like that angle. It looks like I'm about to beat your ass too. Like somebody should get a screenshot of this. Hold on. Yeah, it froze. I'm getting. Now it's back. I was trying to get a screenshot of it. But anyway, and anyhow,
I didn't even know you could screenshot.
Yeah, Command Shift 4. I'm dope.
Oh,
Anyway,
how you order bomb?
I got hired and they paid me a good amount of money to host my show and play records, and then they would put it up and people would download it on MP3 players. So I was doing
in the 90s?
In the 90s, in 1997, which makes me a forerunner of what you now call podcasting. So, father of modern podcasting.
What?
But the thing that trips me out is that people have an issue believing that because they believe can't nobody start nothing unless they're white.
Look at Gil. Gil love that.
No, it's the truth. Like, if you got iHeartRadio in your phone, you're welcome. I didn't invent iHeartRadio, but I was on the digital team that made it the expansive thing that it is now.
Wow.
And then from that, Spotify did it, then Tidal did it, and then Pandora
Google
did it.
Play
So
You're
what
welcome.
can I say?
You're welcome.
You're welcome. You know what I'm saying? It like when you run down the things that I've done that I never get credit for, and I'm not looking for credit, but these are facts.
Mm-hmm.
Before there was Periscope, there was something called Meerkat. Before there was Meerkat, there was something called Hang With. You're welcome.
Shut your mouth.
Can't lie about facts.
Wow.
I was on the team. A buddy of mine who was on the team working when Justin Timberlake took over MySpace said, "Look, Dave, we got this thing. I didn't want to bring you in on it. This, that, and the third." So we went out. We got Larry the Cable Guy. We got 50 Cent.
Wow.
We got all these heavy hitters. And we even had it so that when you were broadcasting live, you could upload your situation to YouTube with one click, all that good stuff. Everything that Periscope is just starting to do now, I was doing 5 years ago.
Wow.
Do I get credit for that?
Absolutely
No.
not.
Did the deal with Facebook fall through? Because Facebook has Facebook Live. You're welcome. But I don't get credit for those things, and I'm not looking for credit. But the fact that somebody black was either on the team, created it, conceptualized it, or was in the room making it happen.
But I think the point you're making is when we do get involved, we don't get the credit.
Never.
Which the good thing, I've seen you as the father of podcast among a lot of places.
Right.
I do hear and see that a lot.
Absolutely. That's the one thing I do get a lot of credit for, even though I don't get a lot of checks for it. Hey, but I'm number one in Trinidad and Tobago. The Business Bully Podcast is number one.
Really?
Yeah, in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm number 36 in China.
So let's talk about it. Your podcast.
Yeah.
What is the focus?
The Business Bully Podcast is just an extension of me, my thoughts, and things that I feel are important to people in business. Like, I want to be able to vent. Like, just yesterday I did an interview with my wife because I felt it was important to understand, and I don't know all sappy shit, but
I love it. That's cute.
what do you do when you're married to somebody who's got a dream?
Yeah, wow.
How do you stay with somebody?
Good.
How do you stay with somebody? Huh?
Yeah, help them.
That's good.
You do help them, but see, everybody ain't built like that because y'all
But
about to get mad.
when you got a dream, no, you can't be laying around the house and babe, you pay that bill and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I'm not
you
talking.
gotta
Listen,
go get the dream.
I'm not talking about these. I'm not talking about MC Scratch a Dick. Who's been in Cousin Winky's basement. Yeah, I mean for like 50. Yeah, I'm going to. No, you're going to Cousin Winky's basement. I ain't talking about that. Like, I always had a plan behind my dream. I'm talking about people who are actual entrepreneurs, who are making it work, who are transitioning from regular life into entrepreneurial life, and what set of skills you have to develop over time. What support do they need? How do you understand that this person is not going to be conventional? Because black people are the best at fitting in and conforming. We've been conforming since we got off the boat.
We take whatever we get rather than asking for more.
Thank you so much, boss. 60% of African Americans have never asked for a raise in their entire professional career.
Are you serious?
60%.
And that is so true. At my, I'm contracted.
Mm-hmm.
I ask all the time. I think I'm I know I am the highest paid contractor at my job because you're absolutely right. We don't get because we don't ask.
The Bible says you have not because you ask not, but it also says money answereth all things.
Sure does.
But y'all don't like to hear that because your pastor ain't tell you that. I actually read the book because y'all don't want to bother with that. But we're going to leave you alone on that.
I talk about this a lot, how we We as blacks will give all our money to a church and invest in a church, but we won't invest in our business.
You go to every hood, there's only two things that are standing that are pristine. The corner store that has the liquor in it, the liquor store, and the church. And then the church will sit up there and give you a good rap and whatnot, but yet still you can't sit down with your pastor. Your pastor can't marry you unless you Teddy Pendergrass. You can't have a funeral, done by your pastor in your church.
And we give them, once I really sat down and conceptualized this and understood this, even for business, I'm looking at my business tax write-offs. It don't make sense.
No.
And they don't give back, so it's ridiculous.
Well, they got the 501c3, and then they got all those nice little kickbacks, and of course, the faith-based initiatives. They're doing what they got to do, but black people are so in love with white Jesus that they miss out on the opportunity to do what Jesus did. If you look at the Bible, Jesus was only caught in the church 3 times. Jesus was in the streets.
Yep, in the hood.
But y'all don't want to do that. Y'all just, oh Lord, we're just going to pray.
And keep on praying. And go to the church. And give all our money to the pastor, because we know pastor going to do
And First Lady need a fur coat. And then there's always one idiot who's going to say, well, not all churches is like that. And da-da-da-da-da-da.
Listen,
and then some of the pastors got a job. And da-da-da-da-da.
Dave, have you heard of the cursing preacher in Memphis?
Oh, I love him.
him.
You was a hoe. You know you suck a dick. In Jesus' name.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
You knew you was a hoe when you came here with that skirt on the church on Sunday. Gil, you gotta watch the cussing pastor. Keep it real. And we need people to keep it real. So let's talk about you as an author. You wrote 15 books.
I did.
You made best-selling. To somebody who wants to write a book and make the best-selling list, what do they need to do?
First thing you need to do is stop listening to people who haven't been where you're trying to go.
Say it again.
With all due respect to your mom and them, unless they done got some Amazon plaques and a consistent monthly check from Amazon for these book sales, fuck what mama's got to say. I need you to treat your mama like Bobby Boucher treated his mom. I'm going to listen to Mr. Coach Klein. No, I'm dead ass. Like, you're listening to people who don't want you to win. You are listening to people who do not know what they're talking about. And what winds up happening is you start getting up here. Okay? And then the 2 square feet in between your ears is the most precious real estate you have, and it is the least protected. It is the most overexposed, and it is the least protected and cherished and utilized.
That's deep.
And so what winds up happening is you listen to mama because mama don't mean no harm. Listen, your mother plays to lose. And what I mean by that is your mother's trying to protect you, so she's going to teach you to play not to win. She's not going to teach you to take any risks. When I write a book from a place of my mama going to get a check from this.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? My mama sits out in Arizona. She's enjoying her life. I don't start with everybody's opinion. Hey, let me give you 5 pages of this, and you tell me what you think. And then Ray got something to say. Shaquanda got something to say. This one got something to say. And Ray and Shaquanda ain't writing no damn books either. But you listening to them. That's like y'all chicks who go out here and start talking about your man to a bunch of women who can't keep a man, and then they're giving you advice, and then they finally get a man, and then you
don't have a man. It's true.
Stop listening to people who cannot back up what they say. That's one. The second thing is you have to write from your heart. When I write my books, you can always tell my books because they sound like I'm talking to you. A lot of times people write like they're writing a term paper for an English class. I don't. There's
proper. Everything has to be so proper.
I don't give a fuck about syntax. And what set me free was I read I think I listened to an interview that Robert Kiyosaki did. He sat down with this woman who was interviewing him, and she was all pissed off because Robert Kiyosaki didn't go to college for English and this, that, and the third. And he was like, well, what's the problem? She's like, well, I'm a real journalist and I can't get a book. And Robert Kiyosaki was like, well, let me ask you something. What's it say on my book? She says, oh, it's Rich Dad Poor Dad. No, the other part. It says Robert Kiyosaki. No, not that part. Oh, you mean New York Times bestselling author? He said, yeah, show me where it says best writing author.
Has nothing to do with the two.
So you got to be ready to market yourself.
That's good.
In a way that's different from everybody else. Every other business coach shows up, hi, you can do it. Here's my binder and my $25,000 course to absolutely nowhere, but I'm going to pay for my vacation home with your 401k, you dumb bitch. .org. And so what winds up happening is you got all these binders.
Yeah.
Like Jay-Z's song reminded, these binders. I got them if you need them, all these binders. Mm-hmm. And so you get all these binders and you still don't have any answers. And what winds up happening is you get stuck.
It's true.
You get stuck. And I want people to just get off the bullshit and just stop doing what everybody is telling you to do and listen to your heart. Listen, God, if you're Muslim, God sent Gabriel into Muhammad in Medina. Muhammad ain't from Mecca. He's from Medina. And he said, look, you're gonna be God's messenger. Nobody in Medina wanted to listen to him. So you know what he did? He got the fuck out of Medina and he went to Mecca. That's why Mecca's the holy city. He raised up an army and he came back and he regulated.
That's how you got
Jesus was born in Bethlehem, traveled all over the Middle East.
You better preach. Go ahead.
Traveled all over the Middle East, and people told, oh, he's a heretic, he's this, he's that, and he's that, and the third. And then people were like, well who are you? Who do you say I am?
Thank you. Who do you say? Who do they and you say I am?
Right. And that's what it is. But see, you're building your rocks on churches that can't stand.
Woo! No foundation.
So you got no foundation. You building on quicksand on people who cannot support you. And so what winds up happening is you get stuck. So if you're going to write a book, write from your heart, and God gave you, or whatever you subscribe to, I believe that there's something bigger than you. If I cut off your arm, which part of you is Laquetta Alford? Is it the arm or is it the rest of your body?
The rest of my body.
No, it's not.
My arm?
No, it's not your arm either. See, there's something in that meat suit that you have that's driving all of that. You see what I'm saying? Like Stephen Hawking's body was a meat suit. He couldn't even do nothing but... But at the end of the day, he was a genius. So there was something inside of that body. That's why when you watch the news and somebody dies, they don't say here's Laquetta Alford. They say Laquetta Alford's body was found. God forbid. Was found there. So you see what I'm saying? So you're a body.
That's deep.
That carries a soul. So the soul has a mission, and that mission is already in the soul from the time that you're in your grandmother's womb, your maternal grandmother's womb. Now, before y'all start tripping, your mama, your mama was in your grandmama's womb. Your mama had all the eggs that she was going to have when she was in your grandmama's womb, which in effect means that you had to be in your grandmama's womb. So when you was in your grandmama's womb, God put that vision inside of you. Why are you discussing it with Pookie, Ray, Earl and them? They don't know shit. You know what I'm saying?
And Pookie and Ray and Earl and them is so negative.
Y'all better listen to John B. Don't listen to what people say. They don't know about you and me. Put them out your mind.
That's my song too. So in the midst of you writing all your book, how long did it take? And then,
which one?
So let's say the first and the last, because that's a range.
Yeah, it depends on the subject matter. The first book I wrote was actually the second book, but the first book I wrote that was in the business motivational realm was a book called Common Sense Ain't Common. Yes, I wrote a book on common sense because, well, nobody else was writing a book on common sense that was worth a damn. And I remember I was homeless. I was living in my brother's garage. I was struggling. I had gone through a divorce. I was all over the place. And I'm writing this book. I'm writing it in composition books. And I remember just struggling. And it was coming out of me. So it probably took me a good 6 weeks.
Wow.
So 6 weeks and I wrote that book.
And then, so you wrote the book, and where did you go from there? Did you self-publish it?
Absolutely.
Did you get a publishing company? And what's the difference?
Okay, the difference is when I went with a publishing company, my very first book, I made about $10,000. They made the rest, and I never got a royalty check since. So I bought the rights back from that book, and I own that one too.
Wait. Okay, so talk about that, because there's somebody who's watching who's gonna end up going through the same thing because we just don't.
A book deal, unless you're super famous, a book deal is a whole trip. You know, it's signing yourself into slavery. Just like there's a difference between,
which is why self-publishing is so popular.
Yeah, self-publishing is popular now because you have the tools. I didn't have those tools in 2004. You know, so I learned very quickly that when the publisher has your manuscript, they can do whatever the hell they want to do with it.
And you probably won't get anything.
No, you don't have a leg to stand on. And so for me, it was a matter of taking control of my situation. Now, the last book I'm still working on, it's called Sell It Like Jesus. This book is taking me 2 years. I started this book, Sell It Like Jesus.
I love it. Sell It Like Jesus.
Principles and Strategies of the World's Greatest Salesman. Because people think that sales is icky and people think that sales is disgusting and you got to be some kind of thief to be a good salesman. But your preacher's been selling you hope.
Woo!
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
$33 million every Sunday is what y'all giving y'all preacher.
Woo!
$33 million. I'm talking about the black church. Y'all giving them $33 million every Sunday.
She said, I don't know no white Jesus.
Yes, you do. And let's break that down. The white Jesus that y'all see is Cesare Borgia. Cesare Borgia is the son of the Pope who commissioned Michelangelo to paint him into the image of Jesus because Jesus...
Shut your mouth.
I can't make this up.
I
Google it and tell all your business. Cesare Borgia is who you worship. Google Cesare Borgia. It's almost spelled like Caesar with an E. So Cesare Borgia, Google that shit, and you will find out that he looks like the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus that you know.
Because that's in our Bibles and our great-great-grandma houses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like what Florida Evans said, oh, Lord, in my house, Jesus is white. She put that shit, like she put the Stewie Griffin on it. Cool, whip. He's white. But that's the thing. Jesus himself, even if you look at Jesus as an idea, that idea has sold more books than anybody with the exception of Muhammad Ali. There's more books written about Muhammad Ali than there are about Jesus.
Interesting.
Right. $1.3 trillion at the box office.
What?
Jesus. More merchandise than the WWE, UFC, NFL, Major League Baseball, the NBA, and the NCAA combined. In merchandise, Jesus beats them all.
Wow. I love the title of your book, and now I see why you titled your book that.
Yeah, people are mad at me. Oh, well, you can't talk about Jesus like that. I don't know about you, but I got a degree in theology, and I've been a preacher since 2003. So
you're a cursing preacher, too.
I sure am. You show me where find fuck in the Bible, I'll give you $10,000. See, when you assign a word something, you can tell somebody you love them and not mean it and say it. The Bible even says that it is better to take open rebuke from a friend than a kiss of an enemy is deadly. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's what it is. We put so much assignment on words that don't really mean shit.
We do.
You see what I'm saying? Don't worry about my words. Worry about my heart.
Woo! Worry about me.
Worry about what I do.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole lot of people telling you they love you, and then you have a baby by them, and then 18 years later, you ain't seen nothing, and now you running around getting Mother's Day cards talking about I'm the mommy and the daddy, but it all started with the words, I love you, and you believed it, so you turned into the country cock. You shed your clothes, and you spread your legs. See, we're going to talk business, we're going to talk business.
Come with it. Jack said that was Michelangelo Gay Lover. You better talk about
Facts.
it. Fact.
But see, the gayness in those days was I mean, they were more tolerant than we are now.
Sodom and Gomorrah. I feel like times are so different now. Whereas money is. Why is our money just gone? Like, why do we have to wear our money? Why does it have to be? Why am I seeing black people who rent their houses invest in red bottoms? Why am I seeing people who can't buy a house, but they can get a fur coat? And like, why is our money so mismanaged in the black community?
Our money is so mismanaged because we want whiteness. Sorry. Black people want whiteness more than they want black liberation. See, when you can't get whiteness, and this has been programmed into us. Watch this, I got to go back to church again. When you go back to slavery, black people, especially black men, had no positions of authority unless you were the overseer or some type of house Negro manager. So the only place that you had any dignity was in secret when you got that tattered up hand-me-down Bible from, a kind slave master, if there's such a thing, or you had, Jethro or Cephas happen to steal it. And so they would put on the best master's clothes had to offer that was handed down to them.
And felt like they were superior to the rest of the blacks.
Yeah, see, and that's where the term Sunday best comes from. And to this day, that's why Negroes always dress up for church, even though you're supposed to come as you are. Why do you think I do this and I don't wear no suits? I'm making a statement. I don't need to do that. I'm wearing Timberlands right now because, I need the support on my feet. But you don't see, I'm not wearing a tag on it, none of that stuff. Like, I don't get down on that. Like, I would rather have my house paid off. Oh, wait, there it is. I'd rather walk into the bank and get a check and then take that check down to the car dealership and walk out 5 minutes later. Oh, I did.
I agree.
I'm not worried about what you think. Yeah. I'm already sleeping with a lingerie model. What I need your opinion for?
Woo!
There is such a freedom
Look at Gil Gibson.
in not giving a fuck that when you base your life in fact,
I love it.
You ain't got to put on airs, as my daddy would say, God rest his soul. We're worried about what other people think who are not feeding,
True.
Clothing or fucking us.
Mm.
And because they're not feeding, clothing, or fucking us, we continue to want their approval. We want to impress them, and then we want to be what we see on TV. And there's no such thing as black entertainment. Y'all still around here believing that lie that Mona Scott Young came up with Love and Hip Hop, and she wasn't hired to be the black face of Love and Hip Hop.
I've never. Anytime you can get a producer to put out a black woman to put out black negative news on black, to me, that's why I don't have cable. I don't watch Love and Hip Hop. I don't support none of it.
Oh, you ain't got time either. You trying to get this check.
Say it again.
You
I agree.
get that check.
It makes no sense. I remember I took a couple kids to Temple with the pleasure of some gentlemen who reached out to my school and donated about $30,000 in trips for kids to go on college tours.
Right.
And the kids asked me, you know, these kids had so many questions coming from these gentlemen, and these were Caucasian men who invested in them. They looked like me and you. They had on nothing name brand.
Right.
The kids asked me after they finished speaking, they're like, you know, they look like me and you, and they just couldn't believe they were millionaires. But can you talk about how these kids were able to see them look like us and not be flashy and not, you know, have on the Tommy Hilfiger?
Most of the ones that do have, they ain't got the show.
Say it again, Julia. You've been listening to the Naquetta Alford Show on Philly Live Radio. These kids were in shock, and I said to them, "Do you know the gentlemen who took y'all on this tour that y'all talking to? They're millionaires. Yeah. They come. Naquetta, did you see their shoes? Miss Naquetta, did you see their shirts? Like, you sure they're millionaires? They have this image in their head that a millionaire is flashy, nice, big, nice car, Lamborghini pulling up. This guy looked like he had just finished demolition on a house.
Let me tell you something.
And they couldn't believe it.
I know a lot of millionaires personally. Gary Vaynerchuk being one of them. Gary Vaynerchuk, for those of you who don't know who he is, he's responsible for Tumblr, Twitter, Uber, shit like that. Early investor in a lot of stuff. When I see him normally, like I see him about maybe once or twice a year, but we talk all the time. I try to get him shit that nobody else is going to get him. He's worth $500 million. So when you're worth $500 million, when you get somebody, well, you got to know the person. You know, this is a wrestling T-shirt. My favorite wrestler is a woman named Sasha Banks.
Shut up.
Yeah, you know, she's black, and like I love all black female wrestlers. That's my shit. I love wrestling, and you know, she's the boss. She's Snoop Dogg's cousin.
What?
And so
you put me on. I know nothing
so
about
yeah,
that.
you know,
Bosses
so she
make bank.
Exactly. So I like the shit. So I'm buying that shit. But the point of it is, he's a wrestling fan too.
Okay.
You know, I'm more of a Ric Flair, The Rock kind of guy. He's more of a Macho Man, Randy Savage kind of.
Okay.
Ooh yeah. So I went. And I found a replica of Macho Man's robe from SummerSlam '88. Why? Because nobody's going to give him that shit. Yep. And then I found like the 1986 tumbler glass and shit. So if you go to Gary Vaynerchuk's office, you see all this shit, you know, that I bought him. Not that he needed the shit, but it's about making, like, that's my friend.
Person.
Know the person.
No, buy him nothing.
But no,
he don't.
I've never seen him in a suit. He's always in a T-shirt. He's always wearing some jeans. Maybe he might wear a polo shirt. Wow. You know, Tom Joyner. Tom Joyner is the worst dresser I know.
He is.
But Tom Joyner, like, he has shit that you don't believe. Tom Joyner has a jet. The shit is called Jet Black. And what's cool about it is it's legitimately jet black, and it's got a red stripe like the A-Team van. Yeah, I mean, like, Tom Joyner, like, he wears, like, bright peach and orange, and she just clothes is horrible. Horrible. But he got millions of dollars.
And that says something, because we tend to think we have to wear our money, if you can use that term.
Not only do we think we have to wear our money, but we want to make sure we look good for white folks. And so instead of, like, when you look at from 1865 all the way through Jim Crow, you're looking at people who had to prove, you know, before the Civil War was over, that they had freedom. Yeah. So they had to constantly show their papers. That's why you hear so many people say, I'm educated. I got a degree.
Wow.
They're showing their papers. Not only that, they have to put on these suits. I went on a Breakfast Club and they questioned me. They never questioned Gary. They never questioned Gary Vee. They never questioned Dr. Phil. They never questioned anybody else. But they questioned me about how I dress.
And
I said to them, it's what it is. It's what black. They can't help themselves. Huh?
Which one?
Which one? Question me, Angela Yee. Okay. Charlamagne wouldn't be there if it wasn't for me. So it's conversation for another day. Yeah. But Angela Yee questioned me, and I told her, and you go back and watch the tape. I was like, I know people got $1,000 suits and $100 commission checks. Like, I don't need to dress the part in order to impress people.
I love it.
And we get caught up in
We do.
that. We want white approval. We want other people to like us. We want to fit in. And where I win, the reason that I got, like, people say, you came out of nowhere. Bitch, I've been working since 1987. It's the longest fucking nowhere. Moses! How long was Moses? 40 years or some shit?
40
Yeah.
40 years. I'm at 31. And y'all just now know me. Y'all open up Forbes and think, oh, damn, this nigga made it. Like, bitch, I gave him a child.
It was overnight.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
This is the longest night ever. This Alaska in a
But
time
I think it's because we're in that microwave society
Sure
where
enough.
people are having that success, and
that's why they're suffering from radiation poisoning.
It's you're absolutely right, and you don't see people like yourself who've been building and on the surface and constantly building. That's huge. Woo, guys, y'all got questions? I'm sorry. Let me come on down. Jack said he like amen. I'm sorry. We got like 10 more. Well, how long we got, Gil?
Just keep going.
How long you need? Like, you know, I got permission to be out tonight. I'm good. I ain't got but one boss. That's my wife. That's upper management. Other than that, I'm good. Like, we can do this.
So when is your podcast on, and how can people get in contact? And how can they get your books too?
Wow, lots of questions. Okay, when's my podcast on? It's on demand. You can get it anytime you want to.
Okay.
I tell people go Apple. If they don't have Apple, they can go to Stitcher. If they ain't got Stitcher, they can go to Overcast. If they don't got that, they can go to. Let's do it this way. I'm on every podcast platform except for Tidal. What up, Jay? I'm on every podcast platform, every single one. The thing that people don't understand is, if you want to be that person, if you want to be an icon, if you want to be the person that people respect, you have to go where people are. That's what Jesus did.
Sure did.
Jesus rode into Jerusalem on the back of an ass and they called him arrogant.
Yep.
But they didn't talk about the fact that this Negro done walked everywhere. Then you got to look at who you're hanging out with too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Jesus' first disciples was Peter and Andrew. Ask me why.
Because they still was in the end.
No. Peter and Andrew were fishermen. Now, if you've ever seen Deadliest Catch, Deadliest Catch is a show that comes on cable, and it's about these people who go out and they crab. Now, they go out and they crab and shit, right? And what winds up happening is they tough. Like, that's some, like, the water bearing down on you, and you gotta pull, like, they're not people I want to fuck with, you know, in a dark alley. You see what I'm saying? So, Jesus went to Peter and Andrew because Peter and Andrew were fishermen, which means that they spoke different languages, they went to different ports of call, and wouldn't nobody fuck with two big-ass, crazy-ass fishermen because they about that life. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta be where people are, and you gotta watch how you move. And so I knew that in order to grow this audience, like, you don't get to 236,000 being on one platform. So if you want iHeart, wherever it is, like, all those, any podcast, just the Business Bully podcast. And if you can't find my shit, go to businessbullyshow.com. It's there.
I love
you
it.
know?
I love you. I love your
I love how y'all
passion.
kicking me out. I done drove an hour for 20 minutes. This some bullshit.
Oh no, we kicking you
I'm
out. You
fucking with
good.
y'all.
You good.
I'm fucking-
You. Let me tell you what I like about you. I love your energy, your passion, because you do care. And I think in business, you need somebody to push you and make you get off your ass. Like right now, I've had a couple people who hit me up who need business plan, who need websites. What do you specialize in so that when?
Okay. I got thoughts about business plans. I think business plans are for suckers. Here's why. A business plan is designed to tell people exactly how you're going to run your business. Then you give it to someone in hopes that they will give you money. You're giving them the blueprint for your $1 million or $1 billion idea. So they can then take their money, tell you no, and then run with your shit. I will give you an example.
I agree.
First and last time I did a business plan, I did one for SEPTA, the Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority.
Okay.
And I have it on file. If anybody wants to challenge me, ask me if I'm lying. Watch, I'm going to say what I say. And SEPTA ain't going to sue me. First thing I noticed, because their social media was so disjointed, it was all over the place. They had 3 different departments running different parts of their social media, so I wanted to fix that. The second thing I wanted to fix was the fact that they weren't focused on millennials, they were focused on old people. Old people can't bring in any revenue because they ride on SEPTA for fucking free. That's one.
After 60.
On top of that, you got to get rid of the things that no longer serve you. And so I noticed that when you go to any app store, be it Android, and this is 2013, so we're going back 5-6 years, Android or Apple, every app that told you where your regional rail train was coming, where your bus was coming, what time the sub was getting at your stop, was run by people other than SEPTA. So I created the SEPTA app.
Shut your mouth.
I shit you not. I will send. You're welcome. What can I say except you're welcome? It's the truth though. Like on my daughter Devlin's life, I created the SEPTA app and I put everything in a very nice PowerPoint presentation, told them how they would fund it, told them what they needed to do, told them what they needed to have on it, where every other app went wrong, the whole nine. I also created that whole SEPTA social thing. They had it, but it was dormant.
You gave them the ideas, and they
ran with it. They told me because I wasn't that familiar with CRM. In my world, I don't need CRM. I think that's content. Customer relationship management. I don't need customer relationship management. Bitch, I am customer relationship management. What the fuck I need Salesforce for? And so what wound up happening was they told me no, and then I'm on the regional rail, heading downtown to where I live, and I look up on these new SEPTA trains, and I'm like, introducing the SEPTA app. I'm like, my lines, my design, the whole nine. Oh, and by the way,
phone call, payment, nothing.
No, and they have this clause that anything you submit to them then becomes their property. But you want the job because you want the pension. You know, and that was like one of the last times I decided to do it. So if you ever see me taking a job, I'm taking a job not because I need the money, but because I want to learn some shit for free.
That's good. That's good.
You see what I'm saying?
Don't this sound familiar? So I had a meeting with the senator last 2 weeks ago, and I was.
Do I know the senator?
I think Anthony Williams. He was amazing.
Oh, I know Tony.
Tony. He's awesome. But I was already coached. Like, do not take your whole business plan.
No,
just bullet points. And do you know? I'm so glad I met with my mentor because that's exactly what happened to her. She took an idea like you to some politicians. They asked her out, contact everybody in her list, and she was out of the deal. And she looked up, and her deal is on TV,
winning
with the people that she wants to use.
Winning.
So how important is it for you to not sell your idea, give your idea to somebody?
Yeah. Here's how I operate. If you come to coach with me, and it's not cheap to coach with me, I ain't gonna lie to you, and I don't apologize for my prices because my results are expected. Bitch, look. Like you, and black people, hold up.
Go ahead.
Apologize, because this is about to get really fucked up. So I just apologize in advance. Please just allow me this latitude with all due respect. Let me explain something to you, raggedy motherfuckers. I'm not the person that you come to and then ask me for 35 references. I got a whole Facebook Messenger group of all of my current and former clients who will tell you that I'm dope. I'm happy to provide that for you. Beyond that, I'm not giving you shit.
Yeah.
I'm not the person that you try to get a blood sample from, ask about my goddamn kids. You know, like y'all want me to give you all this shit, and I'm not doing that. The other thing is, when you come into my program, you sign a non-disclosure, non-compete.
That's good. Oh, now that is good, because you can't compete with my business.
No, and even if you could, I'll destroy you. But everybody signs a contract. Everybody's under a non-compete. Everybody's under a non-disclosure. Because my methods are unorthodox, but they work, and people can't figure out how I just do all this shit.
That's good.
You know, so I'm going to show you how to do all this shit. And you won't cut me a massive check. You know, we got payment plans. You know, you'll buy a fucking car. But you won't buy a business that you'll set up your kids with. I don't get it. But anyway, anyhow, stop asking me for shit you know good and hell well that you couldn't figure the shit out on your own. Because if you're that fucking dope, why are you coming to me?
It's true. And that's what we do. We don't want to pay somebody to do what we know they're
We beg for what we need and pay for what we want.
Say it again.
Beg for what we need, pay for what we want.
Why do we do that?
We do it because we hate ourselves and we don't want to see someone who looks like us win with our dollars.
Woo, I am in the process. I thank God. There has been a mindset shift in my hometown in Pine Bluff. There used to be the mindset.
Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
I love Pine Bluff. There used to be the mindset. I am seeing so many people support each other. I'm seeing so many people put their money where their mouth is, pouring to other businesses. You know, Philadelphia, and that inspires me because you have that in Philadelphia. Black people in Philadelphia do support. Can you talk about how important it is to support other black businesses? Like how you talked about earlier, you got a son and a daughter going to school for two different things, but they're keeping it in the family so they can keep supporting each other.
The thing of it is, Black people have to get rid of their trash. We gotta stop thinking we gotta bring everybody along with us. Everybody can't come. You think I'm lying? I'm gonna give you 2 words. Prove me wrong. Gil already know where I'm going. I'm gonna give you 2 words that prove you can't take everybody with you. Allen Iverson.
Woo!
Watch this.
Philadelphia.
Watch this. And it
That's
has
deep.
very little. Allen Iverson's from Virginia. Allen Iverson is the person who bought cornrows and tattoos and bad boy swagger and dope shit to the NBA off the court. He was a person that was like, practice?
Yep.
Fuck you, man. You see what I'm doing out there? But before Allen Iverson, there wasn't nobody crossing people over.
Wow.
There was no N1 before Allen
I
Iverson.
didn't know that. Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Like he was the king of the crossover. And so I'm like this. You now see, from that you got the Stoudemire's, you got all these other people who have come along.
Yeah.
There would be no LeBron James if it was not for Allen Iverson because he would not have had the latitude. They wanted NBA players. Stop me if I'm lying. They wanted NBA players to cover up their tattoos.
Yep, sure did.
You see what I'm saying? But what brought Allen Iverson down?
Family and friends. Family and friends.
Right. Because y'all wasn't shooting in the gym.
It's true.
You can't take everybody with you, so we got to get rid of our trash. The second thing we need to do is stop looking for this Jerry Maguire shit, meaning that you don't need someone who completes you. Even when you watch that movie, like my first acting coach was a guy named Bruce Preston. He was one of the executive producers on Jerry Maguire.
Oh, wow.
And the truth of the matter is, you complete me with something that was come up with in the writer's room, because what they actually say is you make me feel complete.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So go back in the elevator and watch it. You make me feel complete.
Right.
So you need someone to complement what you have. You don't need someone to complete you, and that's business and personal. I was a complete person when I got married. I'm a better person now because I have someone to make up for the shit that I'm not good
That's
at.
good.
Y'all want to be great at every fucking thing. All of y'all think you're Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders and shit, and you goddamn ain't.
It's true.
I'm the Beyonce. Bitch, you not the Beyonce of bacon. You are not. You are not the T.I. of accounting. You're not. Like, you need help.
Yeah.
And I'm so scared somebody's going to steal my idea. Listen, I don't want anybody to steal your idea. That's why we have this thing called paperwork. And I'm a person that's very litigious.
Yeah.
Try me if you want to. That's a big word for tonight. Try me if you want to. Bitch, I will sue you to the Stone Age. With this here smile. I got a beautiful lawyer. Her name is Dana. Everybody who works for me is black. Everybody works for me. My accountants are black. Most of the people who work for me are black women. My accountants are black. My head of sales is a black man. My lawyer's black. My sponsorship coordinator, she's black. Everybody I mess with looks like me.
Why? Why is that important?
Because I didn't see a whole bunch of people looking like me, and I got sick. I saw what happened when white people took my shit and told me they was going to support me. Everything I ever bought to a company, they took, and then they fired me.
Are you serious?
Name a company that I work for, they fired me. When you met me at an appearance at a company that wound up firing me after I made their shit hotter.
And I know everything you touch turns to gold. And everything I've seen you touch. Or platinum. But this is why I love what you do. I truly do. And you're a creator in your own space. Yeah. So what's next for Dave? What should we expect next?
I have a date. I've decided that I'm going to sell out Madison Square Garden when I'm 50.
Shut your mouth.
Yep. So I got 9 years to pull it off. So that's what I'm working towards. Because
just put me on the production team.
All day. I'm trying to take business to a different place. Like, I want people to understand that business. Listen, y'all ain't gonna like this.
Come on.
I'm trying. Y'all understand, I'm be having this fight inside my head. Like, there's 2 Daves in my head. One Dave is like, now Dave, don't say that shit. And then they're like, fuck this. Like, and they're played by different people. Like, so, the first Dave, the good Dave, is played by T.D. Jakes. He's like, get ready.
You're so crazy.
You don't need to be saying that right there. And the other one is played by Tiffany Haddish. You go ahead and say it. He ready. Like, and Tiffany Haddish always wins. So,
You're so crazy.
I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Y'all
I'm
can't
sorry,
vote
y'all.
your way out of white
Hey,
supremacy.
Dana. Hey, Instagram. I forgot all about
What up to the gram? Do it for the gram. I ain't gonna do it. Listen, you're not going to vote or legislate your way out of white supremacy. If you live in America, you're going to be subject to white supremacy no matter how much money you have. I am the son and the nephew and the brother of cops. God rest my father. My brother is a cop in Philadelphia right now. My aunt and uncle are retired state police troopers. So I come from cops. I'm still afraid when I get pulled over by cops, even though all I know is a phone call and someone's going to have to answer to their desk sergeant.
Wow, that's deep.
I have proclamations dedicated to me in the city I grew up in since I was 3 years old. The only home I've ever known. And yet and still...
Scared
to death because I've been handcuffed because I fit the description. You're not going to legislate or vote your way out of racism. But here's what you can do. See, when you make money, you can then play the real political game. I'll give you an example. You know how that Starbucks shit happened? And them two brothers got arrested? And then they went on TV and started cooning? But before they started cooning, when that situation happened, I was hot. And I knew that district because my brother lives in that district. And I have a councilman in that district whose campaigns I've been supporting for 10 years. Not just with my mouth, not just with my audience, but with my wallet. And so what I did was I called him on his cell. And I said, hey, what are we doing about the Starbucks thing? He said, don't worry, Dave, I'm on it. And the next day, he was on Good Day Philadelphia talking about, we got CEO of Starbucks coming down here, this, that, and third. I'm not saying that I'm responsible for that. I'm just saying that I was able to call my city councilman.
That's huge.
Who's in my brother's district. Why do I pay for campaigns for a city councilman who's in my brother's district? I do that so that I can call to make sure that my brother is okay where he is, even though he's a cop. It's my way of trying to protect my family. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? But you can't protect your family if you ain't got no bread. Let me put it to you another way, because there's a bunch of Hotep-ass revolutionaries about to start coming for me, telling me I'm wrong. So let me deal with you, coon, straight up and down.
I can't with you.
Let's go to American history.
I love it.
In American history, quickly. 1776, Declaration of Independence, July 4th was written. What wound up happening was, because there were no cops in 1776, they didn't come out until 1865. So in 1776, they decided that they were going to wage war in Europe, against Europe, right? The number one army on the planet at that point. How did they do that? Well, they got a bunch of farmers who ain't never had no military experience, and they got a bunch of pitchforks. No, fuck that. They went and put their landmass owning asses, and they started buying munitions. They bought cannons. They bought uniforms. They did everything they possibly could do to take out the British. They bought horses, feed, they took over shit, they paid for land, they did the whole nine. Paul Revere, who didn't do shit, Israel Thistle, all these people,
I love it.
you know, they had money to start a revolution. Y'all out here hotepping and bean pieing, but y'all ain't got no bread. You can't cut no check. You can't have a revolution without finance.
Wow.
Y'all spend more time trying to get ass than you do trying to have a revolution, and you're broke. But you can get some ass and be broke, but you can't get nowhere being broke. So every time I make money, my clients made $27 million this year.
Shut up.
Fuck you, shit you not.
That's huge.
But you can't do that without having some skin in the game.
You need some skin. You need some money. You need some skin in the game. You need a
Yes.
team. So what will we expect next from you? You got another book coming out.
Got a book coming out this Christmas. Aside from that,
This Christmas?
yeah.
Shut up.
Selling like Jesus. It's got to come out at Christmas.
Okay. We got. Okay.
It just makes sense. I mean, it's just perfect stocking
Perfect
stuff.
timing.
Timing is everything.
Yes.
I put stuff out in the fourth quarter. Y'all shut down. I ramp up. So the other thing
I like
is,
it. We're gonna look at it for
I've come out with a free training because people keep asking me, well, how have you done all this? And I don't never see a Dave Anderson ad. Well, you don't see a Dave Anderson ad because, well, damn it, I don't use them.
Yeah.
So if you go to bit.ly/bully growth, you'll get access to all my organic growth secrets. And so I put together a training. It's about a half an hour. It's dope as hell.
What is it again?
bit.ly. /bully growth.
Gotcha. .com.
No, just no.
That's it.
bit.ly/bully growth. Yep. So you go there, you get the free training. You're absolutely gonna love it. It'll change your life. ClickFunnels is the shit.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know how you don't have ClickFunnels.
I know. I think I'm getting ready for it.
You need to call it crack funnels.
Everybody keeps. I think for 2019, I want to gear towards it. I think this year was just so much going on, because it takes some time to learn new stuff, and it takes money.
Look, I just hired a Facebook ads person, not because I know we wrapping up. I produced for years. I got it. We're almost there. Because it's important to hire people who can do what you need to do. Because you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together.
That's good. Wait, say that one more time.
You want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together.
Y'all, I want to go far. Y'all can keep going fast if you want to.
No.
Dave, I can't wait till your book come out. Sell it like Jesus.
Yes.
Is this going to be print?
All of my books are print. Well, most of my books are print. Like the big ones, when I actually go on a book tour and stuff, all those are physical.
I want to set up some to invite you with another author in January.
Okay.
I do book clubs every other month.
Oh, yes.
I have a book club November 12th, next Monday,
Nice.
with Dr. Gooden. They're really nice, and they're all African American book club artists.
Yes.
And it allows you to do a presentation, to speak.
Yes.
And for the new year, I'm starting to do two every other month, because I'm skipping a month because it was just too much doing them every month.
I understand.
So I would love for you to be a part of
Let's
the
see what
one
we're
in January.
We'll do it.
So I got you. I'll see you there. Guys, do me a favor. Please do me a favor. Share this video. And y'all on Instagram, same thing. We was right on time.
Pause to do the poor connection.
Wait a minute. Don't do that to us. Instagram. Hey, Dana. Hey, Blaine. You out the country, girl. You watching. Hey. I'm sorry. Pause. Do me a favor. Share the video, guys. I already know y'all are y'allthebomb.com. Shout out to all the ladies who are just out here doing their things. Tasha McNeely, Myra Woodfork, Michelle, Noel. Y'all just
What
the
up,
bomb. They the bomb. They in Arkansas holding it down.
Tell your mom.
I know. I have an event.
Yes.
November 16th, and I'm not even in Pine Bluff, and these ladies are a part of the event.
Oh, that's
and it's so nice when you can just organize things and trust a group of people to carry it out. So I'm excited about that. We're expecting over 100 people to come out. That's how they do us. Instagram is something else. Horrible. I love y'all, Facebook. Share this video. Do me a favor. Check out Dave at Bitly. I dropped the link. Yeah. Check him out and support this brother. I definitely am. When this book come out, we're going to put something together so we can.
You've been listening to the Naquetta Alford Show on Philly Live Radio.
Y'all.
Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as Naquetta Alford. Be sure to catch us every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Philly Live Radio. Sponsored by Simply Music.